In the headlines, 7 released victims of Abuja Kaduna train attack reunite with families, narrate ordeal. Governor Lalong says he is proud to lead APC's Muslim ticket campaign as Daria is set to contest Jos senatorial seat. Federal government to generate 484 billion naira from e-payment channels in 3 years. And on the foreign scene, Trump declines to answer questions in New York alleged fraud inquiry. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Now, 7 out of the 35 remaining victims of the Abuja Kaduna train attack have regained freedom after 135 days in captivity. Among those released is a family of 6 and a 60-year-old woman. The release of the 7 victims now bring the total number of those released to 36. It was tears as they reunited with their loved ones, and the victims narrate their ordeal.
How's it been?
It's been tough, but we thank God for His grace and mercy. And the prayers, we know that we've prayed and we know that we've had the prayers of our loved ones with us back in the forests there. It hasn't been easy. Everyone has been sick. I came back with my daughter sick because there has not been medication. She hasn't been responding to treatment from the medications they've given. But we thank God for mercy and grace, and we just pray that the rest of the people that we left back would be released as soon as possible. So whatever the government or whoever it is that can support to get them out, we pray that they do whatever they can to get them out as soon as possible, because the situation is actually tough.
My name is Abu Bakr Idris Garba. I am a civil servant working in the National Assembly Service Commission. I would like to sincerely thank Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala, who made this possible for myself and my entire family, and especially Sheikh Gumi, who is here present to receive us, including my family, friends, and all who have supported and stayed with us throughout this ordeal. And I would like to say one thing, just to add to what Sheikh Gumi has said. There is no bound for negotiations. 65 of us boarded March 28, 2022. We boarded the train, a federal government train. For goodness sake, what does it take the federal government to negotiate, to sit with these people, find out their grievances? They have innocent people, hardworking people, men who have left their children, they have left their wives for over 135 days. There are people there stranded. They don't have any means. Please, we're pleading on the federal government. Please, sit with these people. Seek Sheikh Gumi's audience, please. By the grace of God, with him here, he could assist and alleviate and help solve these problems.
And as terrorists advance towards areas that were hitherto peaceful, modifying tactics and strategies, Kankia residents want government to adopt new measures in fighting criminality. Now, this is coming a few days after terrorists attacked Kankia town, where they separately abducted a housewife and 2 children from the community. Trust TV's Abdullahi Yamadi reports.
Kankia town is the headquarters of Kankia local government area of Katsina State. Terrorists bearing dangerous weapons stormed by King Kaswa Kankia around 2:45 a.m. on Sunday, smashing walls to gain access into houses of their victims. 3 persons who are still in captivity were abducted during that raid on Sunday night. The terrorists were said to have operated freely for over an hour without any response from security operatives, despite distress calls put through to them by the residents.
Suka zo suka balla wancan kohai suka shiga inda mai ɗaki na take uwa gidan wadda suka da ita.
It was horrifying the way they forced themselves into my house. When I noticed their presence, I scaled my house fence to escape, but they abducted my first wife. The terrorists used diggers to break through the wall of my house to gain access. Though there were a series of abductions for ransom and armed robbery cases in the past, the number of attacks in Kankia town have been minimal compared to other neighboring local government areas. Kankia residents are determined not to flee their ancestral homes for the fear of other attacks. The attackers caught us unaware. Many residents were scared upon hearing sporadic gunshots that night. I couldn't sleep throughout that night because of the fear of attack. However, authorities are saying they are taking steps to forestall reoccurrence of the ugly attack.
You see, even in that Kankia attack, it's not that our men were not there. We went there. In this fight we are planning, we have come with formidable strategies in dealing with this new modus operandi, which I will not say it here.
As at the time of compiling this report, the suspected terrorists have started contacting families of the abductees, demanding for ransom to secure their release. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Wednesday warned that making the wrong choice in the 2023 election may consume the nation, urging Nigerians to make the right choice. Obasanjo spoke as the special guest of honor at the Wilson Badejo Foundation's 15th annual lecture with the theme Overcoming the Twin Challenge of Poverty and Insecurity in Nigeria, held in Lagos. The former president expressed the hope that if the right choice was made in 2023, the nation may witness progress. He had earlier said that Nigeria has not taken its rightful position because of poverty and insecurity. The governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, says the APC Muslim ticket is a party affair and has nothing to do with religion. Governor Lalong, who is also the Director General of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Organization, is not ready to give up the position. The governor spoke on Wednesday with newsmen at State House Abuja after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. Kende Amodu reports.
As the political race gathers steam ahead of the 2023 elections, some decisions by political players have taken the electorate completely by surprise. For instance, no one believed that given the charged atmosphere, any politician would attempt a same-faith ticket for the presidency. It is happening, and despite the huge opposition to it, the ruling All Progressives Congress seems determined to ride out the storm.
When it comes to politics, it's a matter of choice, matter of interest. In every political party, you have Christians and you have Muslims. In every political party, there's opportunity for you to vote for a Christian or to vote for a Muslim. If you don't want a Muslim, you wait until the electoral day, you go and vote. It be your choice. If you don't want a Christian, you go there and go and vote.
Governor Lalong has choice words for those alleging that he lobbied to become the running mate of the APC presidential candidate.
People said because I was denied VP, I said I did not. I did not lobby for VP. Yes, many people were lobbying and writing on my behalf, but what I wanted to be, and I still stand for now, I obtained form for Senate. I won. I have my senatorial ticket that I'm waiting for. So if at any time some people who wanted to be VT lost out and they are using religion, they should not use me to help them.
Equally controversial is the rebuilding of the Jos Central Market, which has been subsumed by religious undertones.
We brought developers and Jay's Bank is funding them. They build a market and the market will be given to Plateau State to be shared, to distributed to those who will want to buy the market. And then a National Assembly member who has not contributed anything to the state. The only thing he wants to contribute to get re-elected is to go and start spreading false allegation that the market, I had sold the market for 40 years to Jais Bank. It's not possible. The 40 years is for the shop owners. That is those off-takers who are going to buy. The little civil servants or the poor people that will borrow money from the bank to come and buy shop.
Proponents of secularity argue that religion should be separated from state and leadership should emerge based on competence rather than affiliation. It is an argument that has been advanced, but does not seem to be catching on, which means Governor Lalong, as DG of the campaign, has a huge task on his hands. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Meanwhile, former governor of Plateau State, Senator Joshua Dariye, is set to declare interest to contest the Plateau Central senatorial seat on the platform of the Labour Party. Daily Trust reports that the Plateau State chapter of the Labour Party has concluded arrangements to receive the former Plateau governor from Abuja to pick the party's senatorial form. Dariye, who served as People's Democratic Party governor, defected to the Labour Party, where he contested and won a senatorial seat in 2011. Dariye, who was serving 10 years imprisonment for 1.1 billion naira fraud, was released on Monday alongside former Taraba Governor Jolly Inyame and 3 others after their pardon by the Council of State led by President Muhammadu Buhari. However, the Labour Party's chairperson in Plateau State, Grace Zamfara, could not be reached for comments. And still talking politics, members of the All Progressives Congress in Osun State, who are loyalists of the Minister of Interior and former governor of the state, Rauf Aregbesola, say they are ready to end the crisis rocking the party. APC lost the recently concluded governorship election in the party to the PDP, which many attribute to the internal crisis of the party in the state.
Our resolute decision that we will not yield this platform to political traders and vandals. We remain bona fide members of Osun APC. It is sad, at the same time, laughable to observe that Famodun reported in the last 2 paragraphs of his press conference text that Governor Oyetola has finally seen what we have been clamoring for in about 3 years now, and is now ready to restructure Osun APC. The duo of Governor Oyetola and Prince Famodun have definitely fulfilled their wishful mission to bring Osun APC down. It is often said in Yoruba that if you leave your mom's corpse to the care of a madman, he may end up roasting it for his dinner. The National Secretariat has a duty not to wait any longer. The wall of Jericho has fallen with Famodun's confession, and Osun APC should undergo immediate reorganization, rebooting, re-engineering, re-energizing for greater performances. I sincerely thank you all for taking time to listen.
The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Emmanuel Akabe, said the persistent farmers-herders clashes in the country is a disease that must be cured. The Deputy Governor spoke on Wednesday in Abuja at a national conference themed Management of Farmer-Herder Relations in Nigeria, organized by the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution in collaboration with other developmental partners. Also speaking, the Director General IPCR Bakut Tswa Bakut said the conference was timely considering the violent clashes between farmers and others across the country and to some extent the whole of West Africa. He said the crisis had led to loss of lives, destroyed livelihoods, and by extension affecting other sectors of the economy. You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, access to free healthcare for the vulnerable. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
That's great. It's good to see you.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. 7 released victims of Kaduna-Abuja train attack reunite with families, narrate ordeal. Governor Lalong says he is proud to lead APC's Muslim ticket campaign as Daria is set to contest Jos senatorial seat. And moving on now, even as the remaining victims of the Kaduna-Abuja train attack remain captive, taxi drivers and traders at the Rigasa railway station don't want government to hasten the rescue of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack victims to enable train service to resume. They said the suspension of the train services has resulted in the loss of many jobs, as many families now find it difficult to survive. The report.
This place used to be very busy with passengers, traders, and taxi drivers. But for over months now, the place has been deserted and many jobs lost due to the suspension of train service by the Nigerian Railway Corporation after terrorists attacked Kaduna-Abuja train, abducted many, and killed some. Taxi drivers who convey arriving passengers from the station to different destinations are almost idle as patronage has fallen to almost zero level. The suspension of train services has paralyzed our business here. We are in hardship. Some of us had to relocate to other places in search of jobs. The place is deserted as no business activity is taking place. We find it difficult to get food as there are no passengers to convey. Yakubu Abubakar is a tea and bread seller at the Rigasa railway station. He once employed 6 people prior to the suspension of train services, but now he can barely cater for his family. About 95% of traders left this place, although some people do come here to while away time and go back home. I used to have 6 people that helped me manage my business, but now I manage it alone because I can't pay them. They have to leave. They appeal to the government to hasten the rescue of the remaining train attack passengers and secure the train route to enable train service to resume so that their businesses can bounce back. We want the government to make more effort in bringing back the train service so that our business will bounce back. We appeal to the government to save our source of livelihood by bringing back the train service and also rescue the remaining victims still in captivity. We appeal to the government to devise means of negotiating with the abductors of the train passengers so that our business will revamp. The resumption of train service is expected to rekindle hopes in many households at Rigasa community and beyond as business activities will be revamped. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
The Zamfara state government has officially flagged off commencement of access to free healthcare services to 34,000 less privileged and vulnerable persons across the 147 wards in the state. The Governor, Bello Mohammed, who inaugurated the program at Talata Mafara local government area of the state, said it is part of his administration's determination to provide quality and access to healthcare services for all categories of residents of the state. The report. Accessing healthcare services is a big deal to residents of Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria, especially those in rural communities. This is due to the security challenges currently confronting the state, where many rural communities have been sacked. The flag-off of the free healthcare services to 34,000 pregnant women, children under the age of 5, and victims of banditry activities will bring huge relief to the beneficiaries. The state's Deputy Governor, Hassan Nasiha, who represented Governor Bello Muhammad at the event, said the state government had approved 1% to the State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency as equity fund for the vulnerable groups and matching grant for the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, BHCPF, in order to strengthen the state healthcare system in the state.
As we are all aware, ladies and gentlemen, access to affordable healthcare continues to be a challenge for most households due to high level of poverty and significant reliance on out-of-pocket expenditure. Hence, health insurance population coverage throughout the country has remained low. This challenge caused most states of the Federation to domesticate the NHIS based on their religion and traditional value system and other peculiarities.
The State Commissioner for Health, Aliu Abubakar, said the present administration will not relent in its effort until residents of the state enjoy access to quality health services.
The Basic Healthcare Provision Funds was established under Section 11 of the National Health Act as the principal funding vehicle for the basic minimum package of healthcare, and at the same time striving to increase the physical space and overall financing to the health sector.
The Executive Secretary, Zamfara State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency, Dr. Abdul Qadir Shinkafi, disclosed that the program is to cater for the vulnerable population, which includes pregnant women, children under the age of 5, the aged, people living with disability, and internally displaced persons in 147 wards in the state.
Your Excellency, today's occasion marks another milestone in the state health sector reforms where vulnerable populations across the state have access to affordable and qualitative healthcare services owing to your total commitment, interest, continuous support to the agency since its establishment. These beneficiaries will access healthcare in the NHIS accredited healthcare facilities ranging from comprehensive health centers, primary health centers, and general hospitals to provide primary and secondary services across the state.
Some beneficiaries of the health intervention appreciated the Zamfara State government's desire to provide free healthcare services in order to improve their well-being. Now, the federal government is set to make a total of 483.73 billion naira in 3 years from electronic payment boom by way of the electronic money transfer levy. This projection was made by the Budget Office of the Federation and revealed in its 2023-2025 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. According to the Budget Office, the nation intends to make at least 137.03 billion naira in 2023, 157.59 billion naira in 2024, and 189 billion from EMTL data from the Nigeria Interbank Settlement System. Data reveals that the total value of the electronic transactions in the 4 months of 2022 is already higher than the total amount of transactions in 2019. And on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump has said that he refused to answer questions under oath during an appearance before the New York State Attorney General in an investigation into his business dealings. Trump had appeared at State Attorney General Letitia James's office on Wednesday morning to testify in a long-running civil probe of the Trump Organization's finances. Trump, in a statement, said he declined under the rights and privileges afforded to every citizen under the United States Constitution. The Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution grants the right to remain silent when questioned by authorities to protect one against self-incrimination. Trump's deposition in New York came less than 2 days after FBI agents searched his home in Florida as part of a separate investigation looking into possible mishandlings of classified documents by the former president. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.